Hello, welcome to this channel. I am Copper Mama Chronicles, and I am a stay-at-home mom of 4, pregnant with my 5th. And on this channel, I just talk about motherhood, homemaking, health and wellness, and just everything in between. So today's a special day. Today, my first son, my 3rd child, he turned 4 today, and it's pretty much like my anniversary, becoming a mom of 3. And also there's my I had a vbac on this day 4 years ago, my first vbac. And I am so proud this day because this actually started my journey that I'm on now. And I just want to go into detail about pretty much what I did, how I achieved my first VBAC after having 2 C-sections. Even after doctors had no faith in me, they pushed the C-section on me the whole time. I was pregnant the whole time I was seeing them at their practice. They was pushing a C-section on me, and I was adamant about not having one. I stood on business, and I did not let them bully me into having a C-section. And I hope this story encourages you to do the same. So like I said, my first 2 children were C-sections. My first 2 daughters, I had them like 5 years apart. And I had them, they both were emergency C-sections because the heart rate was dropping. But now that I'm more educated on like birthing, and just how the system goes, I know that was probably all bullshit. I do know that when I went into labor, I didn't labor as long as I could at home. Like, I probably rushed to the hospital too soon. I know I did. So that is, I feel like, one of the reasons why I had C-section, on top of getting an epidural, which probably messed it up as well. So my 3rd time around, I was like, no, I'm having a vaginal birth. I wanted a vaginal birth. I was gung-ho on it. And so when it came to me going to my doctors and stuff like that, my OBGYN, like, I just went through the process with them. When I think my first appointment, they were trying to schedule a C-section for me. Because I guess, like a lot of women, I guess after you have a couple of C-sections, it's just like, oh, just might as well just keep having them, And I'm like, no, you are able, your body is able to have a vaginal birth, regardless of having a C-section. And the doctors, they just like don't educate you on that because, them having to see them, doing surgery on you, giving you that C-section, is just more money in their pocket. It's just all a business to them. They don't really care. They don't care at all. But I care, and that's what I wanted. So I told them no. I didn't want a C-section. So at the end of my pregnancy, right, they wanted me to come in. Like, they wanted me to actually come in on the day that I was due, which is just an estimate, which is another bullshit, like, excuse to pretty much intervene with, with God's work. Like, the baby can come, the baby wants to come, And I was like, no, I'll come to the hospital when I'm in labor, okay? I'm not just gonna come just to come. That's stupid. So they made me sign a paper saying that I wasn't gonna come on the due date. And I was like, okay, cool. So for one thing I can tell you is I did drink raspberry leaf tea throughout my pregnancy. And I actually was going to have a home birth. My plan was to have the home birth. So I had bought a few supplies. I was reading up on home birthing and free birthing and stuff. I had joined a few Facebook groups. but I ended up not going. I mean, I ended up not having a home birth. I might have if my mom wasn't there, because she kept asking me when I was going to the hospital, And you know what? It is hard sometimes when you want to do something different than the norm and you really don't have anybody on your side, like supporting you. Especially when they're not used to that. Like when your family's used to just rushing to the hospital, going to the doctor for everything and trusting them, then they're not going to understand what you're trying to do. But what I did do when I did go into labor is I stayed at home as long as I could. I labored as long as I could. Like, I think I went into labor around 2 a.m. in the morning, and I didn't go to the hospital till like 7 p.m. That evening. And that's just and on top of that, like I said, my mom kept asking me when I was going to the hospital, but I labored as long as I could. And so by the time I got to the hospital, mind you, I went to labor the day after, I think, the baby was due, a day or two after. And I went to the hospital, in the evening time. And by that time, I was like 7 centimeters. So, shoot, I was already, almost there. So once I got there, this is my first time actually feeling the contractions, really, because my first 2 pregnancies, I didn't really get deep into the contractions before I got an epidural. Like, I just didn't want to deal with the pain. But the thing is with contractions and the pain contractions, it's just part of the process. It's part of like your rites of passage as a woman in just becoming mother. So it's just something you just got to deal with, and you just got to learn the techniques of dealing with it so it's not that painful, which I've learned now. So when I got there, I got admitted and things like that. They told me I was 7 centimeters. So I was like, yeah, because I planned on having an unmedicated birth. I didn't want any medicine. And I think, so I labored a long time there. They had a ball for me and everything. And then I think I got to 9 centimeters. And I want to say my water broke then, or did they break my water? I don't remember. But once my water broke, that was my first time feeling my water breaking. And like my first time in like 3 kids. So, my first time actually feeling it and feeling the actual rush and how intense the contractions get after my water broke, it really got like, I tried my best to push through, I got the 9 centimeters and it was just so prolonged. Like my labor, it just wasn't going, like I wasn't getting the 10 centimeters, but now I know, you can't rush the process. But at the same time, I really wasn't in the positions I could have been in to help me, like, just get through it, or like my breathing, my hypnobirthing, like I do now. But like I said, the things I know now, I didn't really do. I just did some things, so I kind of like gave up after being, 9 centimeters for so long. So it could have been a hospital, the reason why it wasn't like going faster, or it just could have been that was just the process. But I gave up at 9 centimeters, y'all. I should have kept it, but it is what it is. So I did end up getting an epidural right at the end. And then once I got an epidural, you don't feel the contraction anymore, you're numb. So I think I fell asleep, woke up, and there's you 10 centimeters. And this was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I said I was in labor for I want to say I was in labor for like 30 hours. I was in labor for a long time. I would say 30 hours. That's like 3 days. But it was a long time. But yeah, around 8 o'clock in the morning, that's when, they was like, okay, wait 10 centimeters, and it was that time to push, which is another, like, no, is for one, the way they have you positioned. I mean, now I know you probably could ask to not be in that position, but I just really didn't know. Every time I have baby, I just learn something new. I'm just more educated on, you know, things that I didn't know before. But I was on my back, which is a no. I was numbed up. I had epidural, so I didn't feel nothing. And it's like they tell you to push, and you really shouldn't be pushing the baby out because you can't feel it when you're pushing. You don't know what the hell's going on. And when you push, you end up tearing. So push the baby out when they tell you to push. And I pushed the baby out, and I did get a tear. Like, it wasn't, I don't know what degree it was, but I did tear from pushing him because I was in the wrong position, definitely, and just pushing him out. Because for one, the baby, when it's ready to come out, it's going to come out. It's called like fetal ejection. The baby's going to come out when they want to come out. No need to push. They're going to come right out. But you got to make sure you're in the right position. So, yeah. So, baby, you know, I had him. You know, my first vaginal birth ever. The doctors did not have faith in me that I was going to have this vaginal birth, right? I had him. And, you know, I was just so proud of myself for doing that. Like, you know, I got to see him and everything. And, like, you know, 5-10 minutes, that's it. There's like, oh, he breathing fast. They rushed him to NICU. They took him to NICU. And he was in NICU the whole time I was in the hospital. For the 2 days I was there, he was in NICU. I went to go see him. You know, I was breastfeeding him, so I had to pump, feed him, you know, the milk and stuff until he was able to until I was able to like breastfeed him. But just seeing him in NICU and just for him just breathing fast, like, I don't know, that just really did something to me. Because I'm like, okay, y'all really gonna keep him the whole time. And then on top of that, then they started just coming up with other stuff like, oh, listen, we're gonna check his blood sugar and make sure it's okay and all that. And I'm like, y'all just making up shit to keep him, you know? And like, I just felt like, I just don't trust the NICU. I mean, I know people have their babies in NICU for certain reasons and, you know, stuff happens, but I honestly felt like they took him to NICU despite me because I went against what, you know, I did it my way, you know? I didn't go their way. And I just don't trust NICU because who knows what they're really doing to the baby. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm not in control. And like, I was like, shit, he probably breathing fast because I just had his damn epidural. It's fucking dope. I'm doped up. Like, I'm pretty sure that's why he breathing fast. But I mean, come on, like. Anyways, yeah. So, and then like I didn't get him until hours before I was going to get discharged. That's when they brought him in. And they wasn't even going to let him leave because they was like, oh, well, he had to do like a sight test, and if he don't, or a hearing test, if he don't pass, then he couldn't go. Some type of test. I'm like, all this shit's so unnecessary. Like, really, just give my damn baby. And like, I mean, they let me take him, which is crazy. They let me take my own child. And like, after the 2 days was up, it was when I discharged, he discharged too. And from that day on, I knew that I was not going to have another hospital birth. And I haven't. My last child, I have him at home without a doctor. So, but that started my journey of just like, you know, advocating and being passionate about, you know, moms and home births and knowing, you know, what your body's capable of. And not letting these doctors bully you into shit. Like, all they do is just trying to scare you. Like, all the shit they say is bullshit. Mom. And this is my 4-year-old. This is the one who helped me, who started my journey. My first vbac. Shaka. Hello. So, yeah. My first baby boy.
I'm not a baby boy.
You're a baby boy. You're my baby boy. But yeah, so that's why I'm just so passionate about educating women on what they can do with their bodies. Don't let, like, for one, this is your body, your baby. So don't let these doctors or anybody else tell you what you can't do or scare you into thinking that you can't do it. Don't fearmonger. Don't like put that negative energy into your spirit. Like, you gotta think positive. You gotta have faith that you could do it. And even with the doctors, even family and friends, like, they might not be supportive of it, but it's not up to them. It's you. It's your body. It's your life. So at the end of the day, if you want to have a VBAC, do it. Don't be scared. Don't think that something's going to tear open. Like, no, your body not going to tear open. If it does, that means, I don't know, it could be some other issues, but that's rare as fuck. Like, that something bad is going to happen, honestly. Because between my C-section and my VBAC was 2 years. So as long as you give your body time to heal, you're gonna be good. And I've had two vaginal births since my C-sections. So for any women out there, pregnant women or wanting to conceive women, I just hope this motivates you, encourages you to do what's best for you, follow your gut. Just educate yourself on what to do to have a successful VBAC. Honestly, I mean, I don't advocate for hospital births anymore. Ever. I mean, I'm not a hospital birth person. I would never go back to hospital unless it's like life or death. But especially the fact that the mortality rate for brown women, black women, melanated women is so high, and they just pay us no mind, and like our complications we do have, or like they just intervene so much that's like just unnecessarily, like the fact they just don't really care about us. They don't really care about our baby. They just care about the money. It's just all the business. Just the way they go about things. I just can't. But like I said before, you can have a VBAC. If I can have a VBAC, you can have a VBAC. Size, your weight, it really don't matter. You can have one. As long as you have faith and you just keep that positive outlook, you can have one. And like I said, stand on business. Stand on your business. Stand your ground. Don't let them make you do. Don't let them push you into something you don't want to do. Because at the end of the day, it's your baby. And if they are trying to bully you into something you don't want to do, you know what you can do? You can fire your doctor. You don't got to go there. You're not forced to go there. Find another one. Or just don't go though. I mean, that's my option. But yeah. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. You don't have to go there. If they don't support your decision, either stand on business and they don't support that, find another doctor. Period. And that's all I got to say about that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, comment, and peace.